In the spring of 1935, when the sky was overcast with heavy clouds, residents of the villages along the Huang River began to hear a faint but frightening sound, as if the earth itself was breathing heavily. It had been raining for days and hadn't stopped, but no one expected that this rain would turn into a dark curse that would change the fate of thousands. In the village of Jingshan, Liang, a woman in her 30s, sat by the door of her hut, staring up at the gloomy sky. Her husband, Zhao, was working in the nearby fields, and when she looked toward the river, she saw its water rising higher than usual, raging like a hungry beast. She rushed to her elderly father and said anxiously, "Father, the river is rising higher. I feel something bad is coming." The old man closed his eyes for a moment, then shook his head sadly. He had witnessed similar floods in his youth, but he had never seen such wrath in the face of nature. That night, as the village slept under the relentless rain, the unexpected happened. In a tumultuous moment, a dam burst, and water rushed out like a raging monster, sweeping away everything in its path. Liang awoke to the screams of the people and looked out her window to see hell. She ran out of the hut, carrying her infant child, searching for her husband amidst the chaos. The water was engulfing houses, sweeping away livestock, and uprooting trees, as if the earth itself were sinking to the bottom of the ocean. She cried out at the top of her lungs, "Zhao! Where are you?" But there was no answer except the roar of the angry water. Amidst the chaos, she found her elderly father trying to cling to a tree trunk. He looked at her with terrified eyes and said, "Run, my daughter. Don't stop." But she couldn't let go. She grabbed his arm, trying to pull him along, but the waves were faster. In a flash, his hand slipped from hers, and she saw him drowning in the watery darkness. She screamed in pain, but there was no room for grief. The water surrounded her from every direction, and she knew that if she didn't move, she would become just another number on the list of victims. That night, thousands perished, and entire villages were submerged by the flood. The Huang River had regained its ancient name, China's Great Sorrow. Days later, when the waters receded, the land was covered in mud, corpses, and ruin. Liang found herself on a distant hill, cradling her child who had miraculously survived. Her heart was heavy with grief, but when she looked at her son, she realized that life, despite its cruelty, always offers a chance for survival. And so, amidst the devastation, the villages began to rebuild, but the memory of the Great Flood remained etched in the hearts of the survivors, like an indelible scar.